Hi, I'm Beth with TB Properties Buys Land. Today we're going to answer the question, can you sell your bare land by yourself? If you are the owner of your vacant land, then absolutely you can sell your property by yourself. The better question is, do you have the time and the resources in order to do so? One of the great things about the internet today is that it makes it a lot easier for you to sell things online. You're seeing Marketplace as a great place for you to sell your used items instead of having a garage sale. Okay, and the same way is for land. One of the best things that you can do is you can actually put your own property on the MLS. You don't have to have a realtor in order to do so. It's great to put your property on the MLS if you're trying to sell your land by yourself because it gives you some credibility. The biggest thing that people are afraid of today are scams, right? You're the same way when you're looking to sell your property or if you're looking to buy something online, how am I going to avoid being scammed? So by putting it on the MLS, it tends to calm people down and they think there's more credibility behind it. You can do that with some money, right, behind it. You can also sell your property on Marketplace. You can list it Marketplace, Facebook, as well as have it on the MLS. Okay. Now, there's a couple of things that you need to consider when it comes to putting it on Marketplace. You're going to get a lot of just crazy people reaching out to you. Not to say everyone who reaches out is crazy, but you're going to get a lot of questions. So if you are working and you've got a job, are you able to answer those questions with your current work schedule, with your personal schedule? Okay, a couple of things to think about when you're answering some of these questions. People are going to reach out to you and they're going to ask you some technical questions about your property. What's the address? And a lot of times bare land doesn't have an address. So they're going to ask you, how do I get there? You're going to have really good directions for them. They're going to ask you for GPS coordinates on how to get there. Do you have a way of providing GPS coordinates of your property? Do you have a recent survey for your property? Have the corners been marked? Do you have a way of marking and flagging the corners of your property so that somebody, when they go out to visit, they can walk the corners? Are you going to be able to meet people out there and walk them throughout the property? Do you have the time to do that? Do you feel safe doing that? What's your proximity to the property in order to do that? Does your property have a good entrance to it? Are you touching a county road? And if not, do you have a private road? Is it maintained? Do you need to get somebody out there to go ahead and get a brush hog and clean up maybe the saplings or some of the brush that's in the area, make a way for someone to be able to get to your property, okay? What about easements? Do you have a copy of your title commitment, maybe when you purchased the property, or do you have a list of anything affecting the property? So you might get questions about easements for, maybe a pipeline or electricity, or someone's got, some other sort of easement for ingress and egress. So they're going to ask you questions like that. Do you have legal access to the property? Do you have water rights? Do you have, other types of mineral rights to the property? So in order to sell your property, a lot of people are going to have these questions for you, and they're going to expect you to be able to answer those in order to feel safe progressing through the transaction. Selling your property, do you have a contract put together? Something that is, makes sense to the person who's buying your property? Is it legally binding? These are just a couple questions. I just want to make sure that you mark off your list, that you go ahead and get these. Do you have a title company that you want to work through? Another question that you're going to get when it comes to selling your property is owner finance. Do you owner finance the property? Are you willing to do this? So make sure that you're able to answer those questions, that you've got that information available when it comes to listing your property and selling it on your own. So you can absolutely sell your property on your own. People do it all the time. But if this sounds a little bit daunting to you, I get it. Okay, I totally get it. There is another option. TB Properties Buys Land. We are real estate investors. We do purchase vacant land for cash. We do provide that one-page, very simple purchase contract. We work through a title company. We don't have to get a loan or anything like that. And we understand that we will ask you a few questions about your property, but we also understand you may not be able to answer all those questions. And so that's our job, to find some of that information out on our own. after the fact or before, we purchased the property. So if you don't want to go through all of that, I totally get it. Feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to provide you with a quote. We pay through cash. We close through a title company for your safety, and you're able to answer any questions that you might have. Hopefully this gives you some ideas on how to sell your property all by yourself. If not, we look forward to hearing back from you. Thanks again.